Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Appreciate all you guys hopping on to join for the first meeting of the year. Um, so this is something like I told you guys at the meeting, players. I like to do this every week here through the month of September. About to say November. I'm gonna get ahead of myself. Through September, we're for sure gonna do it every week, and then from there we'll kind of go. It might go every other week. We'll kind of see. But basically the point of this, you guys, is I want to be able to connect with you guys on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis and just give you guys some more information just to go on what you're learning at practice, or maybe even just a refresher of what you're learning at practice. Because sometimes practice can go really fast. As coaches, we're trying to, teach and correct everybody, and it's not always able to be slowed down to a point where it can be explained to you if you're having problems, or sometimes you guys get nervous and don't always want to ask questions in front of everybody. So, purpose of this is just to continue expanding y'all's baseball IQ. I know my goal for all you guys running the program, I want to invest as much as I can into you guys because if your goal is to play Major League Baseball, if it's to play college baseball, it doesn't matter what that goal is. I want to help you guys get there. And I want that to be what our program is about as a whole. But you guys, the players, are the ones that set and built that culture. That's not me. All I am is just guiding you guys and essentially leading y'all to water. But the amount of dedication that you take, the work that you put in, and how far you go, that's how that culture gets built. So just know that I'm going to give you guys as much as I can to invest and make your career be what you want it to do. Uh, tonight's meeting, as y'all can see here as I'm sharing my screen, is going to be mainly about offense and our approach at the plate. Um, when we had the coaches meeting, this is one of the things that I talked with all y'all's coaches with. And real quick before I get started in the meeting too, because I know we have in this meeting, there is going to be 9-year-olds all the way through the 17, 18-year-old juniors and seniors. So some of you younger guys, 9, 10, some of this stuff might be stuff that ends up going over your head. It might be a little advanced for you guys, but it's okay. I'm not worried about it because it's just going to be good for you guys to hear the information and to be able to absorb it. So just know that I'm working with a large age range here between everybody in the program. But when we had the coaches meeting for the youth teams, one of the things that I really emphasized with the coaches this year was that I really want to focus on our offensive output because I think this last year, I can't say that I think our offense could be a lot better as a program, especially with as much hitting as we do and you guys having access to the cage as much as you guys do. So I want to start off offensively because I want our offensive approach to be that essentially if teams want to beat us, they're going to have to beat us because they're scoring just way more runs than we are. And that means, if our pitching's off that day or defensive off is off that day, then we're going to be able to get by with our pitcher getting hit a little bit or our defense making an error or two because we're offensively going to rake. As you guys get older, y'all know there's going to be a more emphasis on pitching and defense. I think at you guys' age, especially for you youth guys, y'all got to learn how to hit and y'all got to learn how to hit at a high level. And a lot of things that I see with us hitting is not mechanical at all. And when it comes to mechanics, you guys over the course of your career, you are going to take enough swings that your mechanics are going to get refined and they're going to get to a point where they're in a good place. They are good mechanics. You got to allow that to come with time. It doesn't happen overnight. The mechanics is about us training our body to move a certain way and our body creating that muscle memory where it's able to remember how it's moving to each pitch, right? But again, that's not something that's going to happen just from a week of taking swings. That's going to take years and years of you guys working on it. So really what I want to expand on is the mental part because the sooner you guys can learn the mental part, which I think is a big uh, place of where struggling to hit comes from, that's where I think you guys are going to start seeing a lot more consistency come from your hitting. So what I'm going to explain tonight is going to be let me check our chat real quick. Okay, no questions. We're good. A lot of what I want to talk about where did my stuff go? There we go. With this is going to be our pillars of what us as an organization offensively, what we embody, what we think about, what we're building our swings off of. So one thing that we're gonna be doing with you youth guys, and it might not be week to week, but every now and then we did it tonight with the 10-year-olds, but the 12-year-olds, there was a few 12-year-old pitchers that threw their bullpens, and you 10-year-olds stepped in there and y'all competed with those 12-year-olds and you wanted to see if you could hit the 12-year-old. So that's the number one thing that when it comes to us as hitters, that what we're going to do in the box. Every single time you guys step in the box, when you have that bat in your hand, sorry guys, they keep asking to join, so it's messing my train of thought. But when we step in the box and we have that bat in our hand, it's a competition, and you got to go in there with a competitive attitude. No matter if that guy on the mound is throwing fuzz and throwing, you know, the hardest pitcher you've ever seen, or if he's slow and the slowest pitcher you've ever seen. No matter what it is, your mindset has to be that you're better than that guy on the mound. So you got the pitcher on the mound, you got you in the box. You don't want him to be better than you. You don't want to take that walk back to the dugout because he struck you out, right? So the number one thing you have to do is compete. And that for you guys is a mindset. So when you get to two strikes, that's having the willingness that it doesn't matter what he throws you, what he does, you're not going to let him strike you out. You're going to find a way to put bat on ball and fight off a pitch and continuing to try to just if you guys have ever played Pepper, y'all should play Pepper before your games, but where one guy has a bat, there's four people in front of him, and you guys are just tossing the ball, and he's got to just use his hands to meet the barrel to ball, and he softly hits it back to those guys in front of him. They catch it in the air, right? He's out, you guys switch. That's what Pepper is. Well, same thing with competing. When you get two strikes, you're just trying to play Pepper. You're trying just to meet the ball with the bat. Those pitches that are out on the block, you're trying just to fight them off so that eventually, after you've done that two or three times, that pitcher's standing on the mound and he's saying to himself, man, I don't know what I got to do to get this kid out. Like he keeps swinging at everything, and everything I throw, he's putting bat to ball on. So what am I going to do? If I throw him another good pitch, he's going to put it in play. That's the kind of pressure you guys want to put on the pitcher. But if we don't swing, that's not going to happen. So when we get in the box, you have to go up there willing to swing. Too often, um, and I'm more so probably talking about high school here because that's obviously what I saw a lot of over the summer. But too often I see us go up there and we're not taking enough swings. We want to be on the opposite. We want to be in swing mode. So that's our number one thing. We got to compete in the box. Number two, when it does come to mechanics, we got to be balanced and athletic in our swing. So when you guys think about playing defense in football as a linebacker or defense in basketball when you're trying to guard a guy that's going to try to get by you, you're on the balls of your feet, your weight is balanced between both of your legs, and you're not off balance. You're in an athletic position ready to move. Same thing as a hitter. If your lower half breaks down and you don't have a good base, your whole swing is going to break down. So, one of the things, the analogies that I like to use is if you throw an anchor over the side of a boat and that anchor hits the bottom of the ocean and that chain pulls tight. Well, those chains at the bottom are really big chains that are holding that anchor. If those chains stay tight and the chains at the top are the ones that break, oh well, the anchor's not in a big problem, right? But if the chains at the bottom, those big chains, if those break, then all those little chains that are at the top, those come crashing down and the whole thing gives out. So think of your swing as like the same thing. Your feet, your legs, your base, that's what's anchoring you down into the ground. So if you stay balanced, you stay connected into the ground, you're going to be in a athletic position to hit, which is going to allow you to have more adjustability. Do you guys all know what that means? That means that if I'm thinking fastball and he throws a changeup and I get fooled and I'm too much out front, but my base is good, then I'm gonna be able to stay through that ball and put an athletic swing on it, and I still give myself a chance to hit. Don't always feel like you guys gotta have this
Hey, good night, Cody. See you, bud.
right? Like it doesn't always have to be a perfect pitch. You can be uh like a little early, but as long as you remain athletic, we can still give ourselves a chance to have success. So that's the second thing. Stay athletic, stay balanced. And the best place to work on that's in the cage. When you guys take a swing, when you're in the cage, don't just go in there and you're just trying to swing at every pitch or you're swinging in circles like you're a ballerina or anything like that. Like when you swing, you should be able to hold your balance with a strong front side and your weight coming off your backside and be able to hold that position at the swing finish. You guys all know what I mean by that, what it looks like. But when you finish your swing and you've made contact, you should be able to hold that and stand there for a second or two without falling over. So that's something that's very simple that you guys can focus on in the cage. And as I'm around at the cage at practices, I'm gonna emphasize that to you guys because that's probably one of the most simple things you can do to clean up your whole swing. It all starts with your lower half. The third thing, and this is important for you guys to begin getting accustomed to, begin training yourself, especially you younger guys, the more accustomed you can get to hitting fastballs and attacking fastballs, especially early in the count, the better hitter you're going to be. If we look at any kind of chart from major leaguers or college baseball, you're going to see that in your counts earlier in the count or when the hitter is ahead in the count, those are going to be the counts that allow us to do damage and have high contact, high rates of contact because we're getting fastballs. So if we don't know what counts those are, uh, pull up my notes. So we're going to go 0-0, 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, and 3-1. Every single one of these counts that you get in, whoops, I didn't put a space. All these counts that you get in, you should be looking for a fastball, and you should be expecting that that pitcher 99% is likely to throw you a fastball. And if you can have that mindset along with competing, you should pretty much be expecting that you're going to swing. Now, as a hitter, and I'm going to kind of talk about this right now. It could be covered down there on some of those bottom points. But as a hitter, I know all you guys play MLB The Show, right? So, well, I did not mean to click on that. So if this is y'all's diagram right here on where I have my mouse, right? We have a righty box, righty hitter. So pretend this is the outside part of the plate going to first base. This is the inside half. You guys play MLB The Show. Y'all see this hot and cold chart pop up on the screen. You guys as hitters have got to have this same chart in your brain of knowing which pitcher you're going to try to hit. So what I like to do is I'm going to split it in four quadrants. We're going to go side to side, right here down the middle, and up and down. And I'm going to pick either up and in, up and away, middle in, or middle low and away, or middle in low, uh, or middle away up, middle away down. And those are going to be the quadrants that I'm going to look in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then obviously I have pitches right here down the middle, which I kind of equate that with 1 and 3, just like somewhere in this hot zone right there. But you want to start taking account to what pitches you guys hit well. For you older guys, y'all know that a lot of pitchers are going to pitch y'all out here on the outer half. So I can either get up on top of the plate and make this outer half, which I've talked to you guys about a lot, make this outer half more so a middle end pitch, or I can know that I'm not necessarily going to look for that, and I'm going to look for a fastball here in my one quadrant and three quadrant. But my point in showing you guys this with what the strike zone looks like and splitting it up into different quadrants is when you get into these counts where we are 0010202131 where we're expecting fastballs, this is when we want to narrow it down into our quadrants. So it's 1-0. I know he's gonna throw me a fastball. I'm expecting fastball. I'm gonna look for it right here between quadrant 1 and 3, right here on the inside half. And if he throws me any pitch that is up here in this top box, that is over here in this outside box, or this box that's low and away, any of these three pitches, I'm not swinging at. But I know if that pitch is right here in this little tunnel and it's a fastball, that's what I'm going to hit. So I want you guys to start thinking about, for one, the strike zone. There we go. I want you guys to start thinking of the strike zone in that way, as if you're playing MLB The Show and you got to split the zone up between different little boxes that you got to zone in on to hit. And then you're sitting fastballs. So we don't want to get deep into counts where pitchers can throw their off-speed pitches, um, which is going to be, let me erase this. So let's say 1-1-1. Pitcher can throw, pretty much can do anything. Let's go 1-2. Why are we not typing? Come on. 1-2, where he has pitches to play with, right? He still has two pitches before he's 3-2. So he could throw you a fastball up to try to get you to swing and miss to change your eye level, or he could throw a curveball in the dirt, try to get you to chase. 2-2, a lot of times that might be an off-speed count just because he's going to be going to full count if he doesn't execute. So he's going to try to strike you out right there. These are all counts we do not want to get in because that's going to be the pitcher putting the pressure on us that we have to get a hit. And that's more than likely where he's going to be going to his off-speed.
A little bit.
So we want to make sure we're focusing on trying to attack fastballs early in the count, or when we're in hitters' counts. When we do take a swing, we're taking a swing to do damage. If we're putting the ball in play, we're trying to impact it with hard contact, and that's what's going to result in extra base hits. Too often, I'll see you guys take a swing, whether it's 0-0, 1-0, 0-1, within those first three pitches of an at bat, and it's like that pitch that's down and away, and we stick our butt out and just throw the barrel at it. Well, that is not a productive at bat. And we're not going to talk about this tonight, but one thing that we want to do as a player and as a team is we want to maximize the number of quality at bats that we have. The first thing with having a quality at bat is we want to see more than four pitches, because now we're making that pitcher work. We're getting deep in the count. His pitch count's going up. And I'm also giving my guys that are on deck or on the bench, they're having more time now to see more pitches. When you guys are on the bench, if you guys watch pitchers, you guys will see that they're going to get in a rhythm, get in tendencies where every single time he goes 1-2, he throws a curveball in the dirt. So you know if you come up to the plate and you get 1-2, and the last four guys that have gone to the plate, he's thrown a curveball, then more than likely 99% of the time or let's say 90% of the time, you should be expecting that he's going to throw you a curveball. If he doesn't throw you a curveball and he switches up his routine or his tendencies and he throws you a fastball on the outside part of the plate and you get frozen and he rings you up, oh well, that's baseball. We got to tip our hat to him. But we want to do damage. So if we're taking a swing, that we're putting everything into it. We're trying to hit a home run. We're trying to hit it off the wall. We're trying to hit that ball as hard as we can. Now, like I was referencing, that's going into kind of a quality at bat, right? As we get deeper into a count and say we have two strikes, that's when we're going to shorten up our swing. And our swing becomes more of like the play and pepper that I referenced earlier when we first started and we were on point 1 or 2. That's going to be more of our playing pepper swing is when we're deeper in the counts. We have two strikes, we got to fight pitches off. But early on, early in the count, or when we're ahead in the count, we're looking to do damage. One reason why we can do damage early in the count too, even on less pitches seen, because even if we hit a hard line drive at somebody, and it gets caught, say we hit a rocket and it goes right to the center fielder, or we hit a ball in the gap and the center fielder makes a diving catch. If we hit the ball hard and we make hard contact, that still is considered a quality at bat. So we're either looking for a hard barrel where we're squaring the ball up, or we're looking to work an account and get deep in the count, make that pitcher throw pitches. The next thing, have clarity. Go to the plate with approach in the given situation of the game. Know when the right time is to impact the ball to put it in play and when the right time is to do damage. Again, we'll cover approach later on in one of our other meetings. But when it comes to just having clarity, what I want to touch on with this is I want you guys to start learning situations. And this is something I'm gonna quiz you guys on actually within like a week or two. I'm gonna give you guys a little 10 question quiz and we're gonna kind of see what situations you guys understand and what y'all don't so that I can cover them and get you guys to understand. But like if we have a guy on third base and we have less than two outs, that point in time, I'm trying to hit a ground ball to the second baseman, or I'm trying to hit a ground ball to the shortstop, or I'm trying to hit a fly ball to the center fielder, a deep fly ball. So in those situations, maybe it's not the right time to take this big old swing and try to do damage. Maybe I can play pepper and be in control of the barrel, and I just hit a ground ball up the middle. Even though I'm out, I'm going to get an RBI. And that's still going to help the team, but it's also going to make my stats look good because you don't want to be a hitter that hits for a high average but has no runs, no RBIs, and has just no run production, right? I'd rather you guys hit for a lesser average but have a higher run scored and a higher RBIs driven in because that's going to tell me not only are you getting on base, but that also means that when you come up with guys at second or third, that you're driving them in. And that's the kind of hitter you want to be. So these kind of situations we're gonna expand on more, but it's understanding in the game where we're at and what we're trying to do at the plate. If our pitcher, let's say, just had a quick inning, he was five pitches out there on defense, right? First two guys swung at the first two pitches, struck the next guy out on three pitches. He's back in the dugout. Well, I don't want my first two guys of the inning going up to the plate and swinging at the first pitch and then swinging at the first pitch. And maybe they're not good swings. And now our pitcher's been on the bench for 2 minutes and he's already going back on defense, right? So this is where your approach and your plan at the plate, you start thinking about what's going on in the game and adjusting what you're trying to do at the plate to to reflect what that is in the game. Again, like I said, guys, we'll cover the approach a little bit more deeply in a further meeting, but that's one thing I want you guys to start thinking about situations. Again, something we'll talk about in the cage too. Um, One thing for all you guys, it may be hard to learn, hard to understand, but I am okay with you guys striking out. But there's good strikeouts and there's bad strikeouts. If I go to the plate and I keep the bat on my shoulder and I look at three or four straight pitches and I never swing, or let's say I only take one swing in the at bat, now that's a bad strikeout. If I go up there and I foul a pitch off, I take a pitch, I foul another pitch off, I take a pitch, it's 2-2. I've seen six pitches, and then he dots me on the corner and I get rung up because maybe I was looking for another pitch. That's okay. That's a productive strikeout. You work the count, you allowed the dugout to see some pitches, you put some pressure on the pitcher. You're not always going to get a hit and you're not always going to put a ball in play. So I want you guys to accept that it's okay to strike out. I know I can tell y'all from my personal experience, and unfortunately, I wasn't really able to learn this or grasp this concept till I got older. I was probably 23, 24. So if you guys can learn this at a young age, it's going to help you excel really quick. But the quicker that I was able to learn and just accept, like I know I'm playing a baseball game today and I'm going to fail. I'm going to have one at bat where I don't get a hit or I'm going to get fooled. I'm going to look like a clown because I'm going to swing at a bad pitch. or I'm going to strike out, or maybe I'm going to make an error. Like the sooner that I could mentally tell myself that those
Yeah.
were going to happen because it's part of baseball, it made the game a lot easier. Because now that I've already accepted that, okay, I'm going to fail, it's part of the game, it's going to happen, it made success that much easier because that's what my focus was on.
Yeah.
So those other two at bats that I knew, okay, these are my at bats that odds are where I'm more likely to have success because I'm probably going to have one bad at bat. Now I could put my focus on these are where I'm like, this is my success is going to happen. I'm going to hit the ball hard. I'm going to get a base hit. I'm going to move a guy over. I'm going to drive a guy in, whatever it is. So I want you guys, especially you young guys, like I said, this is some of this stuff might kind of be a little advanced for y'all, but be okay with swinging and missing. The more you swing and miss, I promise it's going to teach you what adjustment you need to make, what your timing is if it's early, if it's late, if you're missing above the ball, if you're missing under the ball, whatever it is. And now you can start understanding your swing to where you can make the necessary adjustment to where you can start having success.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
there is this fine line, obviously, guys, where there is too much. You don't want to go up there and just be a free swinger, right? Where you're just swinging at every pitch no matter where it's at. And then you also don't want to get to where you're striking out every single at bat. If we have things like that happening, then we need to refine what we're doing. We need to sit down and talk and kind of narrow down what the issue is. But I'm just talking on a grand scale, grand scheme of things. Don't be afraid to either swing and miss or to strike out. Those are things that can help you within your at bat, within your development of understanding what you got to do. And then the last thing, don't rush to power. What I mean by this, I see this from pretty much the whole program, nine through, I'm not going to say nines because you guys are new. Let's say 11 through the high school guys, especially with high school. So many of you guys become dead pull hitters where you're just trying to pull your head off the ball. You're trying to pull your shoulders off the ball and hit everything down the left field line. Or if you're a lefty, you're trying to hit everything down a right field line.
Yes,
And
sir.
I know it's because you guys like you're trying to drive the ball, but you're also trying to hit a home run. Don't let your urge to rush to power that you're creating bad habits, bad mechanics. Yes, I know up here I said that we want to attack the fastball and we want to compete. And so when we take a swing, we're taking a swing with intent and damage and to try to hit a home run, try to hit it off the wall.
Yes,
But
sir.
don't try to force that power, right? Don't sacrifice bad mechanics for taking that big, powerful swing. If we have to tone down your intent just a little bit so that you maintain your mechanics of being able to have good direction, do you guys know what direction means? Y'all may not, you may do.
Yes, sir.
Direction is going to be where your swing path is and where your energy or your momentum is
Yes,
unfolding.
sir.
We want to think about that energy, that momentum staying through the middle of the field pretty much, gap to gap. We want our barrel being in the zone for a long time. As soon
Yeah.
as the barrel hooks and starts coming around our body and starts either going to third base if you're a righty or first base if you're
Okay.
a lefty, then you start getting in trouble to where there's only one or two pitches that you can hit that have to be in that swing path. So that's what I mean by don't rush the power.
Oh.
Understand where your swing is to be able to hit with intent and to drive the ball, and then understand where that threshold is where you're trying to do too much and you're pulling yourself off because you are trying to hit the ball so hard.
Yes,
You
sir.
guys have got to let the power, and when I say power, I'm talking about being able to hit the ball off the fence or over the fence like at will. Like you can literally just walk up there and someone throw you a BP pitch and you can do it.
Okay.
I don't think we have anyone that's at that point yet. I love all you guys, but we're not there. We got some work to do. Y'all got
Yeah.
to get stronger.
We
Uh,
need to
but
practice.
the power is going to come.
Yeah,
I
we need to.
promise as you guys get older, as you develop, as you start to understand your body, and as you continue to work on your swing, that natural power of truly being able to drive the ball is something that will come in time. I know for me, I was not a home run hitter at all, but by the time I got to college, I got to the point where I could drive the ball gap to gap and hit the ball off the wall if I wanted to. Like if I was taking BP, like I could do it. I understood the swing I had to take or how my body had to move to get to that point. If I was in y'all's shoes where I was still a youth player or a high school player, I wasn't at that point yet.
Okay.
So don't feel like you got to be able to just, drop your shoulder and drive per se, using kind of like an analogy. But don't feel like you got to do that to just launch the ball. Like let's focus on hitting hard line drives that are going to be as high as the pitcher's forehead, that are going to have backspin, because as you guys continue to grow and get better, those are the balls that are going to turn into home runs.
Yes,
So
sir.
we're going to hit with intent, but we're not going to get too big. Um, so I'm going to go through this one more time. If you guys have any questions in the chat, let me know. If anybody has questions and wants to ask, like just raise your hand, unmute yourself, and you can. But we're pretty much going to wrap it up. Approach, hard hit percentage, and driving your runs is what hitting is all about. Your approach, ups, down, you hit the ball hard. Yes, sir. I think that came from Gabe. So this is what Gabe said. Gabe, I'm gonna mute you if you want to add anything. It's not unmuting. Oh.
You got me? You hear me?
Okay, I think you're good. I think we can all hear you.
Yeah,
Can
we
you
can
hear
hear
me now?
you.
Yeah, can you
Yep.
hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Me too.
Guys, as hitters, everything Carson is saying is absolutely correct. The biggest thing is the mental aspect. You want to go to the higher levels, you want to play really high, and a lot of you guys struggle with it, and I struggled when I was young. You get too mad when you make an out. You get too mad when you hit the ball hard and you make an out. You're trying to be too perfect. And if you hit the ball hard and you have a good at bat, you won that at bat whether you got out or not. So in your head, that has to be a hit in your mind so you can move on to the next at bat and not think about the last at bat.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
It's crucial that you quickly move on to the next at bat and figure out what you're going to do on the next at bat. That's how great hitters hit. You can't wallow in self-pity or feel bad for yourself that you got out, or be upset about it. You just got to move on, work to the next at bat. That's how you go 2 for 4. That's how you go 3 for 4. That's how you go 1 for 3 and do something important at the end of the game.
Yes, sir.
I can't stress that enough. You have to get over bad at bats quickly. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
If I could give anybody advice, that would be the best advice I could give them, is like, learn how to get over a bad at bat fast and move on to the next thing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And don't get down when you smoke the ball to the left fielder or the right fielder and he caught it and it went right at him. You won that at bat. That's a hit in your mind. You have to think of that as a hit in your mind, even though it's not a hit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You think Carson, you think they got that?
Yeah, I think they're good. I think a lot of people were on mute, so that's probably why I didn't get a lot of yeses, but that was good. Appreciate it. So real quick, guys, I'm gonna run through this one more time and then I'm gonna let y'all go. I know y'all got to get some sleep, but number one, this is right. This is what we're gonna build our offensive on this year as teams. We want to try to score so many runs, we're putting the pressure on other teams. So we're gonna compete in the box. We're not backing down from a challenge, whether that guy we're facing is throwing as hard as we've ever seen or as slow as we've ever seen. We're going up there trying to not let him beat us. Number two, we're going to be athletic. We're going to use the ground. We're going to have a good base. Number three, we're looking to attack fastballs. When we do attack those fastballs, we're looking to do damage. And then we're going to expand on this again, but we're going to have clarity. So we're going to start learning how to build an approach and then understand in the situation of the game what we're trying to do within that approach and how that's going to change our swing too. And then number six, just coming to the acceptance that it's going to be okay to strike out or swing and miss. And those are all things that can be positives that we can build on. And then the last thing, not rushing to hit for power, right? We're going to let the power come as we grow and get older. But if we create good mechanics, good habits, then that power is going to come when it needs to come. Other than that, guys, again, thank y'all for hopping on. I thought this was a good turnout. We have 81
Carson.
people that hopped on the Zoom call. So this was good. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
I did.
We're gonna
Carson.
get to work. Yes, sir.
You there?
Yeah.
Hey, one last thing I want to tell these guys, and I forgot to mention it, but so many great things on the Zoom meeting. And the last thing I would want to make sure that they all know, and I used to make this mistake all the time when I was younger, is not understanding cage mode and work mode between game mode. I tell that to every hitter that I work with. You know, we may be doing video, we may be working on drills in the cage, we may be doing, you know, something really weird, we might be trying to figure something out. You do not do that in the game. You become athletic, you see pitches, you're ready to pull the trigger. There's no mechanical thought in the games. Got to be in a zone, guys. You got to be in a zone in a game and work in the cages.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'll do that for one.
Game mode versus work mode. You have to understand that if you're going to advance real
Yes, sir.
fast.
Water.
Keep practicing
Water.
Okay, good.
and be a good teammate.
100%. Always. That's number one. Always be a good teammate.
Sweet. Good stuff. All right, you guys. Well, I'm excited to see you at practice as we're starting this week. And let's get after it. All right. We'll have another meeting next week and start going over some more things. Make sure you guys are getting some sleep, doing good in school, and keep those grades up. All right.
Yes,
I
sir.
am going to be checking.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, you guys are free to go, and I'll see you when I see you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Sir. Bye.
Appreciate you hopping on, Gabe.
Yeah, no problem, man. I thought everything you covered was great. And, you know, just those few little things extra, you know?
Yep, it'd be good to build on for the whole fall.
Bye.
I like doing this.
This is great, man.
Sweet. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this.
Sounds good, brother.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You guys, you got it. Talk to you later, guys.
Thank you.